Yo, 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 what's going on, world? It's your boy D Only. I'm about to start doing new type of videos for y'all and dropping this original content. It's something I've been doing for a while, but I didn't know how I wanted to present it to the world. So I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of overthinking it. My spirit been moving me to do this, and I actually got the time to do it with the current situation that I'm going through right now. So I've been wanting to drop this information, you know what I'm saying, and drop these jewels and drop this game to the youth, because this is who this is about to be dedicated to. You know, a lot of times on YouTube, I see guys that romanticize and put out these stories about gangsters, whether they letting gangsters tell their stories or they like media guys that want to talk about street shit. I think there's nothing wrong with talking about the streets and letting old gangsters tell their stories, but sometimes I think the message in it get lost. You know, people start talking about all the money that they made, the cars and the jewelry and all of that type of shit, that people start fantasizing and romanticizing the ideal of that, and they miss the jewels and the game in it. So what I'm trying to bring y'all through the channel is, from my street experiences, the things that I've been through, the shit that I've seen, I want to give y'all a guide, you know, to where if you are in the streets, first of all, how you can get out the streets, how you can survive the streets, and if you're thinking about making a decision to get into the streets, why you should avoid it at all costs, or at least do what the OGs did to me, which was give me the game, give it to you unfiltered, no salt, no pepper, no seasoning on it, and let a motherfucker know what they dealing with if you decide to go that route. And I haven't seen nobody on YouTube continuously give y'all that type of content on a regular basis. So my spirit been moving me to do it for the young people. So with that being said, the first thing I want to talk about today is, what is a gangster? Because this has been a term that's been thrown around forever, since the Italian mob back in the day and the black gangsters like Bumpy Johnson and all of them. And I really think media and journalists threw this word on guys that was in the underworld and guys that was running through the streets, because all the real guys I know, none of them refer to themselves as a gangster or say, yeah, I'm a gangster. You know, they don't represent themselves like that. So number one, before you anything, I don't care if you a stick-up kid, I don't care if you do fraud, I don't care if you sell drugs, if you pimp. Before anything, you a man first, or you a woman first. So what you do is not who you are. You dig what I'm saying? So I think you got to remember, it's basic morals, values, and principles that everybody's supposed to follow. As a man, I'm not going to let nobody disrespect me. I'm not going to let nobody take nothing from me. I'm going to protect my family and provide for my family at all costs, and I'm going to protect my life at all costs. That's just being a man. But in the streets, let me give an example of what I'm trying to say. In the streets, let's say I am in the underworld and I'm selling drugs or I'm doing whatever I'm doing to make money. If a guy breaks into my house and steals something from my house, and then I catch him in the streets and I beat him up or I shoot him, some people might say, man, that was gangster as hell. But in reality, it's just me being a man. I'm not going to let nobody take nothing from me. So I think what started happening over time is you had guys that was men, because they a man first before you anything. You a man before you anything. You had men that was involved in the street and street activity. And when shit would come along that went against their morals, values, and principles, or would challenge their integrity or whatever, they'll do some gangster. And then people be like, man, that was some gangster ass shit. But what started happening over time is young people started focusing more on just doing the gangster shit and not realizing why people was doing it. So now it ain't about being a man in the streets no more. It's just about doing the most outrageous gangster shit you can do. So that's why you see motherfuckers pull up, shoot into a crowd of people, shoot up a whole house, broad daylight shootings, and doing all the goofy ass stuff they run around out here doing, because they think that's what's being gangster. All the true gangsters that I know from the 60s and 70s and the 80s that was getting money and was really in the streets when the shit was really, really real, they just men first. You know, they the most polite guys. These guys are gentlemen. When they go home and they done with the streets, they treat their girls and their wives with respect. They keep their kids away from that type of stuff. You know, they not going back home and being loud, talking loud, and telling their kids about what they out there doing. You know, they don't let their girl be in that type of stuff. I see guys now who deal with women and they bring their women out to go do drills, and they bring their women out to go hit licks and go do crime. You know, the guys I brought up around, when you left out your door, you did whatever you did in the streets. When you came back home, you was the husband, you was the boyfriend, you was the father, you was whatever you is. So the difference is, I don't care what the fuck you doing in the streets, you have to be a man or a woman first. Being a gangster is about having principles, morals, and values. It's not about doing violent shit. It's not about doing outrageous shit and antics. It's not about going out and shooting and murdering motherfuckers and being a cold-blooded killer. You know, just because you kill somebody, that don't make you a gangster. That make you a murderer. You know what I'm saying? Just because you will rob somebody, that don't make you a gangster. That just makes you a robber. You feel me? If what makes somebody a gangster is that they got morals and values and principles, they a man before anything. They a woman before anything. So to the young people that's in the street, man, stop thinking that going out and doing crimes or going out and doing violent shit is making you real. And that's another thing too, man. Like, people be too quick to call a motherfucker real because they'll shoot a gun. Or they'll call them real because they really sold drugs. They'll call them real because they'll do a robbery, or they done went to the penitentiary and did jail time before, you know, or they real because they get a lot of money. Your character makes you real. Not the amount of money that you got, not how much drugs you sell. Your integrity makes you real. Your morals, values, and principles, your moral compass that you go through life with, that's what make you real. You know, you might not be a guy with all the money in the world. You might not have never went to the penitentiary. You might not have never killed nobody. But if you in the streets, they'll say, man, that's an honorable guy. That's what makes you real. I know plenty of people that have shot people, killed people, had a lot of money being in and out of jail, and they don't got no credibility on the streets. Don't nobody respect them. People don't like them. And they done everything under the sun. So it's not the shit that you do that makes you authentic and a genuine person. It's how you carry yourself. It's your code. And that's what's lost in the streets now, is the code. But I'm going to get to y'all with that on another video. I'm going to drop in the description below my Instagram, my Facebook, and all of that shit if you want to check it out. Like I said, I got a lot of other content on my page that's really music related, but I'm finna start doing more of these type of videos talking to the youth. Because like I told you, man, it's not people giving y'all game. It's not people giving the young people game. When I came up, you had older guys that would, man, you can go talk to them on the corner. They might be giving you game. I had uncles that would be giving me game. I had a father that would be giving me game. I had older dudes that was hustling that would give me game. I'd be riding around with older guys and they'd just be schooling me through conversation, giving me game. Ain't nobody giving the young people game no more. You know what I'm saying? So when you got a young 15, 16, 17-year-old kid and they go out here and they blow somebody's head off or they doing crime, you can't blame them because they don't know better. But it's up to guys like me, 30s, 40s, and the OGs that have been through this to pull y'all coattail and tell you, hey, man, this is how you supposed to do this. If you're going to be out here moving and grooving, this is how you do this. This is, don't snitch on your homie. Don't do this. Hold your mans down if you go to jail. So ain't nobody giving them jewels. Everybody romanticizing the shit on YouTube. You know, all the old gangsters getting out of jail and they want to tell their story on YouTube, but ain't nobody giving them the game. So when you come talk to me, I'm like a big brother. I'm like an uncle. If you came and sat down with me, you feel me, and we was chopping it up and we was riding around, I'll be giving y'all these same conversations, this same type of game. I'm not finna get on here and tell y'all a bunch of gangster stories and all the dumb shit that I done did. I'm gonna give y'all the knowledge, the wisdom, and the understanding and the guidance that if you in this shit, then this is what you need to know. And this is how you survive this shit. And this is how you play what they call the game. Until next time, I'll holler at y'all. It's your boy D Only. I'm out.